He was the bringer of fentanyl and death.
The whole thing was a family business, and it's really gross. It's unimaginable.
That's how one family describes what Bruce Holder and his family was doing in Colorado.
Bruce Holder's not a drug dealer. He's a poison dealer.
More than 1,000 miles away sit Dave and Cheryl Ellington in Florida, two parents who say their youngest boy, Jonathan, was poisoned at the age of 30.
Whenever John walked into a room, he lit it up with his smile. He did the t-ball thing, the baseball thing, the basketball thing, the soccer thing.
But it was sports that left him with an injury at the age of 16. His family says he turned to painkillers and got hooked.
He moved to Colorado just as a sort of a do-over, a start-over. When he was getting his life back together, he seemed to have been clean at that point.
His parents say he was thriving, finding much success at Hotel Jerome in Aspen, where he worked for years. Then another sports injury set him back.
There was a point where those medications aren't available any longer from a doctor.
On December 28, 2017, Jonathan didn't show up for work.
Found out that he had expired there. At the house.
In his room.
In his room.
Investigators found him in his bed with a syringe and a spoon with blue residue. They assumed he overdosed on heroin. That's until blue pills were found in his room.
It was something that happened very quickly, but it's a difficult thing.
Difficult when your youngest dies 2 weeks after seeing him and a month after celebrating Thanksgiving.
I really don't think that Bruce Holder has in any way, in any part of his life, earned any sort of mercy to not spend the rest of his life in jail or prison.
Last April, a jury voted unanimously that fentanyl distributed by Holder ultimately resulted in Jonathan's death. This family says they lean on faith, and they always have. They're leaving Holder's sentencing up to higher powers. All they want to do at this point in time is prevent this from happening to other families.
Oh, it's so heartbreaking. Darius, it's hard to hear how people have medical trauma, prescribed painkillers, and then just can't get away from them.
I think that's one of the hardest things when you hear about some of these stories. These are humans. These are regular people who everyone loves. You have a medical event that may happen. It may lead you to these painkillers. You get hooked and it makes you feel good. So that's exactly what you go back to at that point in time when you may not feel good once again, when you have another medical episode. And in the next story that's coming up in the next hour, you'll see that that's the same situation with the next family as well.
Yeah, you know, you talk about more than 800 Coloradans died from an overdose of fentanyl in 2021. It was like a 50% increase from 2020. And Darius, you're putting a face to those numbers, and I think it's important to know the stories and the impact.
We're finally putting a face to these numbers. We're finally hearing from families who, most of these families, this has been 3 and 4 years since their loved one died, and they're just now mustering up enough faith and energy to talk about it, especially as this bill is now moving through the State House. So definitely a lot of context here, and I hope that this can really get through to a lot of people.
And the state is just now talking about getting serious about putting these dealers, you know, in prison, and so maybe your story will help. Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We hope so. Darius, thank you.